Hello, I'm John Harrigan, founder of ImmortalNow.com, where we teach the secret to immortality. And this is the story of my life, how the secret to immortality came forth and what it's all about. To begin, when I was 6 years old, I was sitting in front of a mirror in our house on the bottom step of the stairways that went to the second floor. I was looking at that mirror and thinking about my life ahead. Yes, at the age 6. I could see about 1,600 lifetimes, give or take, that I had lived. Looking in that mirror, I was thinking about my life ahead, who I was, where I came from. In a very relaxed and natural way, I was looking at about 1,600 past lives, give or take, that I had lived. I saw these lives with a type of timeless consciousness and a type of higher power or God consciousness, I would describe it. Fully myself, not surprised in any way. It was just like, okay, here I am in another lifetime. What am I going to do about it? I'd like to do something worthwhile. So I could see about 1,600 lifetimes, give or take, that I had lived. I saw these with a type of higher power consciousness. As I looked at these 1,600 lifetimes, some were grand, some were not, and many in between. Foremost in all these lifetimes, I had missed one important thing, the why of our existence on earth. The secret to life. In every lifetime, I had come and gone without ever realizing our full human potential, without asking questions of why exactly we were here. In this lifetime, in front of that mirror at age 6, I wanted to plan, I wanted to be certain that I would grow and find the answers and have the life that I was looking to have. As I thought this, I saw in front of me a spiritual elder, an older man, and I thought, yeah, that's who I want to meet. This plan of mine to live a fulfilled lifetime and discover the secret to life, this plan of mine will probably work if I find an elder who has done the same thing successfully, who can guide me and teach me. This vision, this elder man that I saw was sitting with his legs crossed, smiling and laughing and talking to people. He was perhaps in his 60s, talking to people as I am right now talking to you. This elder, how he looked, how he was acting and speaking, is exactly who I am today. And that elder was kind of pudgy as I was looking at him at age 6. And so am I. At that age of 6, seeing this spiritual elder, I was looking at my future self. Now, decades after that young experience, I have everything I hoped for at the age of 6. I've become everything I wanted to be, to know what I was searching for, and a lot more. I became that elder man, that elder spiritual teacher that I saw at age 6. I know the secret to life, and you all do too, and I'm going to tell you what it is and what it's all about if you watch these videos. I know the secret to life, and so do you, but you may not be aware of it. You may not be looking at the obvious, so to speak. I know the secret to life, and I teach it as the secret to immortality. That's what I call it. We're really designed to live joyous, happy, and free without death, without disease, without hardship, without harming each other. And we absolutely can do that, and we absolutely can have this. And that's what I'll be teaching you. But I'm skipping ahead of my life story. So I've got everything that I wanted as life progressed, as I got to the age that I am, but this secret, and now I'm getting into my story, but this secret, the secret to immortality, the secret to life, for me came at a price, a cost that was tough, a cost that was high, that took everything I ever thought I wanted or needed or should have in life. Basically, everything in my entire life as it has progressed has been taken away from me. So again and again, I'm brought back to that mirror. I'm brought back to the reality of what I wanted and what I'm looking for. By losing all the falsehoods, by all the wrong desires, and some of these can look good, by losing a career that I had, by totally losing my health, by totally losing my friends, the house I lived in, everything that I owned, and suffering in that place, I had to kind of find a deeper self that went far deeper than the visual realities of desire and ambition that we all have. For me, not saying you should do this, saying that you shouldn't, and that's why I'm teaching The Secret to Immortality, but for me, my life plan was to suffer for quite a while and to lose everything I ever wanted. The simplest and most noble plans were torn asunder. Anything that did not serve my aim, the secret to immortality, my spiritual ambition in life, anything that did not serve this aim was taken away from me, usually rather harshly and suddenly. Every thought, ambition, and plan I had, even if a little bit off track of the primary goal, secret to immortality, every thought, ambition, and plan I had, even if it was a little bit off track, was destroyed. Because after all, this is what I wanted, to get things right in this lifetime. I just didn't know how many things I'd have to give up. I didn't know that ambitions to work for a nonprofit, to be a professional, I thought I had good ambitions. I had an executive position. But again, I found that everything that didn't serve the primary purpose of my lifetime was taken away, so I could fully awaken and fully become who I am and show you how to do the same thing in your life. I wanted in my lifetime, I wanted to be certain that I awakened and lived our full human potential. I didn't want to go back into dying and being reborn again into that kind of endless cycle until you end it. I wanted out of the cycle of death and rebirth. What I got with this intent and plan at the beginning of my life, before I was born really, that formed my life here today and as that 6-year-old, what I got were circumstances that again and again forced me to grow, forced me to learn and become the teacher that I wanted to be, the seeker that I knew I was. Everything that I did and planned required me to reach deep and become more than I thought possible. And folks, my life is the same as every other person's life on earth who has ever lived. We suffer loss, we suffer hardship, we suffer pain of our own or of our loved ones. And to get through the day, to get through the moment, everyone has to dig deeper for something of themselves, something in the world perhaps greater than they ever thought of, greater than they ever thought possible. A lot of people traditionally call this God, that greater power. Higher power is a popular term today, popularized first by, I think, 12-step programs. Greater power, the self in Hinduism, in yoga. But we all have to dig deeper and find something inside us. Notice I keep touching, if you can see, I keep touching the center of myself, directing this conversation to the core of our being, my being and yours. Back to my story, what I got with this intent to know the secret to life, the secret to immortality, what I got with this intent and plan before I was ever born that formed my life, that I was thinking about at the age of 6, what I got were circumstances that again and again took away every false thing and thought and forced me to look at myself, grow, and dig deep. requiring me to reach deep and become more than I thought possible. By crisis, by hardship, by loss, by pain, by ill health, by accident, all of these things. I wanted, I suppose, to feel all of the difficult things in life so I could speak to people that had suffered, that had lost, that were in pain, that were in hardship, and without hope, so I could speak to those people and tell them what's actually possible. If everything's going pretty well in our lives, career, money, family, we often aren't forced to dig really deep for our core, for this immortal being in the center of ourselves. So I guess I planned a life of great hardship and difficulty, but if you look around the world at any time and sadly watch the news, what I'm talking about as my own life is something that is experienced by far too many people on the planet. But for me, hardship and struggle were the binding force that kept me on track. Whenever things were happening in my life that were easy and good and maybe doing everything right, taking care of my health and being a good person, I just wasn't pushed to dig deeply and go with that absolute desperation. And that desperation has given me everything I wanted to have, has led me, awakened me, and showed me everything I wanted to see and become in this lifetime. And that's what I'm teaching today at our website, immortalnow.com. I'm teaching that secret to life, which is more than a secret to life. It's the secret to immortality. Immortality, happiness, joy, freedom, and immortal life on earth. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to end this one soon, but just wanted to talk about hardship and struggle as the binding force in my life, as really the foundation for everything that I teach. Hardship and struggle and loss were what kept me on track again and again. How do I survive? How do I survive a diagnosis of certain death? How do I survive a cold winter where I have no heat and don't want to freeze to death? How did I get through all these things the same way you've gotten through your things? But challenge, difficulty, and loss eventually turned around to become the bedrock, the foundation, the strength and gold of everything I teach today and have become. And with the secret to immortality, it's not so much becoming. I'm not anything or anyone special. I'm not really anyone. I'm, as I've gotten healthy, more connected inside myself, more connected to humanity, to the world of nature, to the cosmos. I'm working with all of life, and that's how we become who we are, so to speak. Alone we are nothing. We fracture, suffer, and die. Together, connected within into all the world and universe, we are everything to each other. That's the end of part 1. Stay tuned for the next video.